Welcome to the Joyride podcast, where we explore the path to becoming your most authentic self. I'm your host, Rebecca Joy, a self-development coach, human design expert, spiritual enthusiast, and motivational speaker who's absolutely obsessed with personal growth and transformation. On this podcast, I'll be sharing my own journey and insights to help you activate your power, amplify your confidence, and become the most magnetic version of yourself. Each episode delivers actionable strategies, powerful energy shifts, and spiritual wisdom that you can immediately apply to break through any limitations and create lasting change. Whether you're seeking deeper self-understanding, professional growth, or spiritual connection, the Joyride gives you the tools to transform your potential into your new abundant reality. Welcome to the Joyride. Hello. Welcome back to the Joyride podcast. As always, I'm so happy that you're here with me for yet another episode. I'm very excited to share what I have to tell you today, so let's jump right into it. I first want to say happy Libra season. We are out of Virgo season. We are out of eclipse season, which I know for most of us is a very good thing because Virgo season combined with eclipse season can just be a fucking lot. Like, coming from a Virgo sun, I love eclipse season for many reasons because what comes to the surface during eclipse season, I truly feel like is life-changing if you give yourself the space to just allow whatever needs to come through. Like, I've had some of the most like mind-blowing and like truly transformational things happen for me during eclipse season, but it can just be a lot because Virgo season, we can sometimes get really critical on ourselves and like what's not working and what we need to change and what we need to clean up and what we need to refine and all that stuff, which in and itself is such a great thing. Like, that's why we have the Virgos on this planet, like me, to like get our asses in check and put ourselves in line. But it can just be a lot on us. So I always really appreciate like going from Virgo season to Libra season, because I have found in the past, like if we think about the energetic themes of what each zodiac sign represents, some transitions are just like harder than others. Like if we're moving from super emotional Cancer season to Leo season, I actually prefer that one. But sometimes moving from one energetic theme to the next can just be a little tough, I have found, with just like certain seasons. Not to say that that's bad, because nothing's bad. This is just my own perspective of it. So I really enjoy moving from Virgo season, which feels like a fresh start, a new year, like, okay, we're getting our ducks in a row, and now we're like moving into like the beauty and the balance, and like, I don't know, things just feel a little softer and a little easier during Libra season. So I hope that you've been having a wonderful start to Libra season as we wrap up the month. Today is Sunday, September 28th. That's the day that I'm recording this. And we are just about to enter October, which is just so crazy. Like, we are in fall territory, at least where I am. The leaves are falling. The colors are changing. I'm actually really, really excited to be somewhere where I'm going to experience a true fall. Like, this was one of my dreams last year when I was still living in Austin, thinking about like, it would be so nice to be on the East Coast, to take a trip out to the East Coast for the fall, to see the leaves change, and just to like be in the true energy of fall. So I'm very happy to be somewhere where I'm getting to experience the true like nature of fall and the season's changing. So just wanted to wish you a happy Libra season. Okay, for today's episode, I have been kind of like racking my brain thinking about, what do I want to talk about for the next episode. I don't want, obviously, every episode to be like, this is what's happening in my life and like TMI. It's just like, okay, obviously I'm here to share my life and my perspective, but I also always want it to help you and to help you navigate and help guide you through whatever you're going through. So something that I have been thinking about a lot, having a lot of conversations about, and also I want to help you truly, I want to be a source of guidance and support for you in your life when it comes to navigating through dealing with your insecurities. And basically like moving the fuck out of your own way and getting the fuck out of your comfort zone. Okay, so let's break that down. I want to share some examples about how that's coming up for me in my life and just some conversations that I've been having, whether it's with friends or clients, and what's happening for people, because all of us, it does not matter. Sometimes I forget this, right? Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, like some people don't deal with this stuff. And I'm like, bitch, yes, they do. Like everyone has their own set of challenges and struggles, and everyone is just, we're also connected, but we all are on our own journeys and we all deal with struggles in different ways. So something that I've been thinking a lot is like, personally for me, what came up very heavily for me during Virgo season, which tends to happen as it's my birthday. It was a big year for me, turning 30. I just celebrated Rosh Hashanah, which is the head of the new year in Judaism and all the things, right? So I had a lot of time to reflect on me and my past year and, what I want to happen next for me in this new year. And something that I've been kind of like, I want to say like dancing with and going back and forth with it. I've known this about myself for a while. I can flip-flop a lot between like, I'm almost like exiting from the world and I'm going into hermit mode because I need a lot of time and space to come back to myself, to come back to what it is that I'm doing, what it is that I'm working on, basically. So for instance, when it comes to me showing up on social media, this is a very easy example for me to give. I've always been the type of girl that's like, I'm either super on and I'm posting all the time, or I'm off for quite a while and then I'm looking at other people's content and then I'm getting in my own head like, do I even know how to come back, and how do I come back, and why am I doing this? Why am I dancing with this pattern? Okay, because they're all patterns. Like everything that we do in life comes down to a pattern, and it's habitual because we're made up of routines and habits and all of that good stuff, which is, again, not a bad thing. But how do we learn how to work with our own patterns? How do we learn how to create a new pattern? How do we learn how to reshape a pattern if it's not working for us? And I think for a lot of us, what I've discovered about myself, working with clients, having conversations with people who I deem as like doing all the right stuff and being super successful. Like everyone falls in their own traps somewhere when it comes to creating a new pattern or getting past their comfort zone or getting past their insecurities. So for me, for example, what I've been really thinking about lately is, and I'm not scared to admit this by any means, it's just I've been thinking about it a lot and I'm like, damn, this is like really unfortunate that I'm having to deal with this, but I'm dealing with it and I'm allowing myself to process how I'm feeling. So I've always known that when it comes to being online, I love to show up. I love to be on camera, and I do really love to show my life with the world. I've always known that about myself. I love talking. I love sharing my life. I would love to do it way more than I currently am. Like if it were up to me, I would have like a cameraman. I would have like a team who could like help me create more, who would help me film more. I will say that a lot of times it has felt very overwhelming because it is. Like if you do social media or if you've ever thought about doing it, there are so many different platforms. I have found that I have interest in a lot of different platforms, but the task in itself is a lot. But I've noticed over the years, especially as I've gotten older, I don't always like how I look on camera. When it comes to photos, like I'm notorious for being a selfie girl. Like I'm the type of girl that's like, if I don't look good, I don't want to post. And if I look good, I want fucking everyone to see me and I want everyone to know. It's like when I have full glam on, I'm like, who can I FaceTime? Like who can I show? Like I just look so good and I feel so good, and that's what it's about. And so what came up for me during Virgo season and eclipse season was me kind of like understanding like maybe there is somewhat of an insecurity there, or maybe like in my comfort zone, like if I don't like the way that I look, if I don't feel good, like I'm not going to show up. But then how does that play out? Then I feel guilty. Then I feel like, but I really want to, but I can't because I don't feel good about myself. And I don't know necessarily if it is an insecurity. What I think about myself is it's more so like a preference. Like I just don't like how I look on camera in certain angles, which I think that pretty much anyone can agree with this. And like, I know that I'm not alone with this. And I think it's helpful to verbalize this kind of stuff, because you may be thinking like, oh my gosh, like this girl doesn't deal, not saying me, but like, you know, the girls that you follow on Instagram or TikTok, you know, they never deal with stuff like this. Like they do. Like, it doesn't matter if you're the most beautiful woman in the world. Like, everyone has their own, you know, insecurities and, you know, their own ways of falling back into old patterns and staying in their comfort zone because it keeps them safe. So my face specifically, almost the past year, I have had a lot of like just stuff come up for me with my face and like not liking how I look, and then really thinking about like, well, why don't I like the way that I look? You know, is it my skin? Is it my acne scars? Is it like my lips? So I've done a lot of thinking about this over the past year. I ended up getting Botox and filler, which I've talked about before, which like has helped make me truly a better version of myself, I think, because it's only up to me. You know, like this is something that I've thought about a lot. You know, a lot of people say like, oh, well, they're doing this for approval of other people and this and that. Obviously, we should all be doing things for ourselves. Like, I really could give zero shits what anyone thinks about me. If they think, and I used to want to think like, oh, I want people to think that I'm prettier and this and that. It's not about that at all. I want to look at myself in the mirror and I want to feel beautiful and I want to feel good every day. Like I genuinely want that for myself. I actually was writing out like my life's dreams the other day. One of my dreams in life is to always feel beautiful. And that may sound vain, and that's totally fine if you want to take it that way. But listen, like, I'm a fucking Libra North Node, and like, I value beauty. Like, I do. And I think that's something that it's really cool for me to really own that and really accept and acknowledge that about myself and the women that I look to. You know, it's not just about their beauty, but it's about like their beauty and their grace and their power and like all of these incredible qualities that I value in women that I do see in myself as well. So one of my insecurities that has really come online for me over the past year, but more so the past 6 months. I had this massive, I think it was like a 2-head pimple in between my brows that is turned into, I think it's called an atrophic scar. It's like a pitted scar in between my eyes. And alongside that, I started to develop these bumps underneath my left eye. I didn't know what they were for the longest time. And then they started developing under my right eye. And then I started getting these bumps on both of my eyelids on both eyes. Okay, why I'm making such a big deal out of talking about my face and all this, you will soon find out. So basically, this has been something that has been living on my face for like a year and a half. And I've always viewed myself as a beautiful person. Like, genuinely, I look at myself in the mirror and I'm happy with what I see. Yes, as I mentioned before, sometimes I'll make videos of myself talking or in the gym and I'm like, oh, like I really don't like that angle. But it's not to the point where I'm like, oh my God, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, woe is me. Like, I'm so ugly and I hate this. Like, no. It's not to that extent. But these things have only gotten worse over the span of the past 6 months. And I've done so many different things to try to get rid of them. And it has been so debilitating for me, because I'm not just saying that because I'm like, oh my God, I have these things on my face and like, why me and blah, blah, blah. Like, I know that there's a solution here. I know that this can be fixed, but I also know that it's not going to be fixed today or probably tomorrow. Like, I just know that, and I've come to terms with it, and I've been able to accept that. So I'm doing whatever I possibly can that is in my power, that I can control, to help this situation. And I know that it's going to take probably some outside help and outside power, which I totally get. But the point is, I want to show up more. I want to be on camera more. So why it's been hard for me and why, I'm admitting to myself and allowing myself to share this is like, this is an insecurity of mine and it sucks. Like I hate that I'm having to deal with this, because I want to show up on camera. I want to be sharing more videos. I want to be sharing more content. And yes, I'm giving myself a lot of grace because I just had a major, life change. And again, like, I'm big on taking a step back and being a hermit and taking my space and taking some time. But now it's getting to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm fucking over that. Like, I'm ready to show up in the world as my bad bitch self. And it's hard because I don't feel like that. You know, like, it's not like I'm like, oh my God, I'm like totally this different person now and I can't be me. Like, as I talked about in the last episode, yes, there are definitely parts of me that are not being lived out while I am here in North Carolina, and that's fine, and I've come to accept that. But like, I've taken so much time to discover who I am as a person, and I know who I am, and I know who this girl is who shows up in the world and represents herself in a certain light. And it's been really tough and really challenging on me, you guys, to be insecure about this, because I'm like, I want to fucking show up. So that's what we're getting into in today's episode. It's how do I show up? Like, I'm talking through this, I'm processing it with you. Like, how do I show up and move past these insecurities of mine? And you may be dealing with something totally different. Maybe it is sharing on social media, but you've never done it before and you don't know how to get started. Or maybe, you want to change the way that you feel in your body, or the way that your body looks, which is totally fine. Like, we're telling the fucking truth from here on out. We're in our 30s now. Like, there's no fucking time for fluff or games or whatever. It's like, I work out a lot, yes, for the health benefits, but more so like I want to fucking like how I look, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I want to look good at all times. I want to feel good. Looking good makes me feel good, and you are allowed to feel the exact same way if that makes you feel good. So if you're insecure about getting into the gym, or wanting to go to a Pilates class, or wanting to put yourself out there when it comes to dating, you're ready for a partner, or for applying for a certain job, or going after anything in your life, like basically changing your life in any type of way, we all have our own insecurities. And it's something that I've been sitting with myself a lot. Like, okay, I know what I'm here to do, and I know what I'm here to give. And it's not just for me anymore. It's, I'm a role model for other people. I want my husband to look at me and be like, damn, that's my wife. Like, look at her go, and look at her stand in her power. I want my kids to be proud of me. I want my kids to look up to me. Like, this is so much bigger than me. So it's something that I am learning. Like, I have to fucking learn how to move past this, because if I could snap my fingers tomorrow and I'd have this scar be gone, and I'd have these like bumps all over my eyes be gone, and I'd have all my acne scars be gone. Like, you guys, I was looking at this album, this beautiful photo album that my mom made me for my 16th birthday. It has all these photos of me from my childhood and my friends and dance and my family and the whole thing. And I'm looking at these photos in awe of just how stinking cute I am. But I'm also like, oh my God, what I would do to like have this skin again. Like, when you're a kid, you obviously don't know how good you have it. I'm like, oh my God, I don't have any lines. I don't have any bumps. I don't have any scars. Like, how crazy is that? I have dealt with my skin being an issue for so long, you guys, like so long. And obviously it's just kind of funny for me to even share. Like, of course, Rebecca, you're 3 years old. Like, of course you don't have anything on your face. But, we all think this way. You get older, life seems to get harder. You're dealing with all this stuff. And then, as our parents say and as our grandparents say, like, it only gets worse. Like, this lump and this bump and this gets bigger and this gets smaller and the whole thing, right? Like, that's just life per se. But, it's understanding and acknowledging what it is in your life that you feel insecure about. And maybe that insecurity has turned into just like your resting state of how you feel, and also it's keeping you stuck in your comfort zone. Like I mentioned before, if you're someone who is thinking, okay, I want to lose 30 pounds in the next year or something, maybe there's a certain event, or maybe just you want to change your lifestyle. Like, that's a big deal. And because of that, you may be feeling insecure about your weight. You may be feeling insecure about, like, am I worthy enough to have this thing? Like, of course you are. We all are so different, and we all have very, very different personalities. We have different desires. We have different dreams. We have different goals. Like, I have always been so fascinated by the idea that, like, what I want in my life is going to look so different from my friends. It's going to look so different from someone else. And You may be thinking, okay, but like everyone wants to have a lot of money and everyone wants love and everyone wants this. Like, of course, there are universal things that all of us want that are like very, very simplistic. But when it comes down to it, like the details of what those things are made up of, we have very different desires and we have very different goals. You know what I'm saying? So to acknowledge that in itself, like, I want you to really sit here as you're listening to this and think about that. Like, take a second to think about, what is it that I truly, truly want in my life? Whatever it is. Whatever that thing is, or whatever those things are, just know that they were made for you. Just know that they are so personal to you that they are meant to happen and they are meant to be lived out. I know that because I have a dream to feel beautiful and to look beautiful, it's because I know that I also have a dream to help a lot of people, to be of service to a lot of people, to be a leader, to be a visionary. And my conduit and my way of doing that is showing up on camera and communicating and being seen, whether it's online or in person. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just about like, oh, I want to be so beautiful and I want to get my Botox and my fillers and have all my acne scars be gone. Like, yes, that's a piece to the puzzle here, but there's a deeper truth here. There's something so much juicier and so much deeper here. So how do we look past our insecurities? That first step is really acknowledging, what is that insecurity? And I don't want you to get mad at yourself or feel bad about it. Like, I have given myself so much permission, truly, and so much grace to be like, you know what, Rebecca? I fucking feel you, girl. Like, it sucks to wake up in the morning, to look at my face in the mirror and be like, there are those fucking bumps. There's that scar again. Like, it sucks. Like, I wish that I didn't have that. But I know that everything happens for me, and I know that this is just a part of my journey, and I know that I will work through it. And I also understand and recognize that this is temporary. That's also something that, I think is so important in understanding, like, wherever you're at in your journey, if things feel hard, if things feel like my life is such a struggle right now, if you feel like I don't feel confident in myself right now, I don't feel beautiful, I'm upset that I'm not making as much money as I used to, or as much as I know that I could, or there's something going on within your relationship or your family. Like, I want you to understand that this is all temporary, especially during the rougher times of life. Like, truly understanding that everything is temporary. The highs are temporary and the lows are temporary. But sometimes it's more proactive for us to really remember during those very challenging and very hard times that this shit is temporary and you will not be in this position forever. I promise you. I promise you. I have been holding on to that so dearly as I'm navigating just this journey of my life and what has come up for me. It's understanding that this time is very temporary. So I just want to mention that. And I really want you to acknowledge, the hard stuff that's happening in your life right now. Just acknowledge that life will move on. And I don't mean that like so fucking petty, like life is going to move on with or without you, bitch. Like, no. Like, life will move on. I promise you that. You will not be in this position forever. And what you're dealing with right now and what is making you, uncomfortable or scared or things are hard, like, that is all temporary. Okay. But coming back to the insecurity part and being within your comfort zone, I was talking to my little brother yesterday and I mentioned how when we were, I don't know, maybe in high school, I will never forget this. One day we were all sitting down at the dinner table and he goes, I think it was out of nowhere, like, guys, I've decided that I'm going to like stop eating desserts. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, I think he was like trying to lose weight or something. And he just decided, I'm going to stop eating desserts from here on out. And I remember thinking like, damn, like just like that? Like, what do you mean? Like, you just decided that you're going to do something and then tomorrow, like, you just don't do it? And he just has that type of personality where he will just decide like, oh, I'm done doing something, and then he'll literally just be done doing it. And I've always been in awe of how he's able to do this, because I'm just like so not like that, you guys. Like, my sense of willpower with some things, I'm very disciplined. And again, like my comfort zone, I've talked about my wellness and my routines and that type of stuff. Like, I'm super disciplined, and that stuff comes very easy to me. It may be super hard for you. Like, I know a ton of people that are like, oh yeah, I forget to take my supplements. I forget to take my vitamins. Like, I've only been to the gym twice this week. I'm like, literally could never be me. Like, could never be me. Like, I could be in fucking halfway across the world in India, and I'd be like, where's my black seed oil? You know what I'm saying? Like, there are certain things in my life where it's not even the willpower. It's just like literally so ingrained in me that it takes nothing for me to do. I just like, yeah, of course. But I always come back to thinking about this when I want to change something, when I want to change a pattern, when I'm dealing with some type of like insecurity or comfort zone. I always think about my little brother and how one day he just decided, I'm going to stop eating desserts, and then he just did it. And so we were talking about this yesterday, and I brought it up, and he was like, he used to be a financial coach, and we're talking about like just my clients and, not in depth about things, but just like, I think a lot of the general struggles that a lot of people have. And we both said, for a lot of people, like, they want to understand the secret. Okay. Everyone wants to know like the keys to like finally like creating this big life and being super successful. And he was like, you just gotta fucking do it. And I'm like, I know. Like, you just have to fucking do it. And so, what I've been thinking about since that conversation is like, sometimes you just gotta get the fuck over yourself, and you just have to do it. Like, you have to get over the insecurity. You have to get over, this is hard. You just have to get out of your own way. Like, truly, I can't begin to describe how many conversations I've had with people where they're like, but what is it? Like, what's the thing that's going to get me to go out and do this? Whether you're like, okay, I want to be a nurse. Okay, so like, let's break it down. What is it going to take for you to become a nurse? Okay, we have to instill this desire and this goal there. We have to instill the belief that you actually believe that you can become a nurse. And then we have to instill the habitual practices in order for you to get there. And what is that going to take? You know what I'm saying? It's like starting off with the goal, starting off with the desire or the vision that you have, and then breaking it down and moving backwards. But so many people get so tripped up, and they get so stuck in just like, it's almost like a cat's trying to like chase its own tail. And it's like, you're never actually making any progress. And in order to experience those big things in life, the big things that we see on social media, whether it's like, something regarding business or your career or the engagement or the wedding or the first kid, it's like, that is made up of so many hard moments, of so many moments that none of us ever see. And we just forget that. I forget that myself. Sometimes I'll look back. I was looking back at my own Instagram the other day, kind of feeling nostalgic of like, oh, woe is me, like back when I wasn't dealing with this stuff, and like thinking about, what was I doing during this phase of my life? And I was like, okay, but what did it take for me to get there? What was I doing every day? Like, what was I feeling? Not all of it's peachy keen, and not all of it's great. So how do we get over ourselves? How do we get over our comfort zone? How do we get over the insecurity? You just have to decide, I'm going to fucking do it. And even if you don't like it, even if it doesn't turn out the way that you want it to be, even if, I'm showing up and I'm like, fuck, like, you know what? I want to post this video, or I want to do this, but, it bothers me. It bothers me that I'm still dealing with this stuff, but I'm going to choose to look past it. I choose to look past it. I'm saying that because like, there's so much power in choosing to look past it. You just have to get the fuck over yourself. And yes, for certain things, there are things that we can do to set us up to be more successful. For instance, I think all the time about like really like perfecting my morning routine. I'm actually in the process right now of getting up earlier because I, again, in doing a lot of reflecting and turning 30, I'm like, okay, who is Rebecca? who is she when she feels fucking amazing? Despite how she looks, despite this, despite that, like, how does she feel? I'm like, I get up early because I feel so good when it's dark outside. When I get up early, I'm like, there's something in the darkness where I feel so connected to myself. I feel so connected to God and the universe, and there's no distractions, and it's just like sexy to me. Like, it's sexy to go to bed early, to wake up early. So I'm in the process of getting myself there. And there have been so many days where my alarm goes off and I'm snoozing. You guys, I'm fucking snoozing like an hour and a half. And I think about my little brother and how he just does it. And I'm like, this shit is hard. Like I wish with every fiber of my being, I do wish that a lot of things that let's say take a lot of trial and error from me, I wish that I could be perfect on the first try. Like, I will admit it. It's the Virgo in me. Like, I wish I could be perfect. But I understand that for most people is not the case. So that's totally fine. So I'm going to choose to look past it. So even if I snooze my alarm 30 minutes, that's a win. It's progress. Even if I make a piece of content, but it's not perfect. Okay, that's progress because I'm doing it. Even if I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just giving my real life examples, but whether you're looking for a job or, you're single and you're ready for a relationship, that progress and putting yourself out of your comfort zone, and maybe it's a little insecure of you to make a Hinge profile. Like, I have done it so many times and I'm like, I don't like this. Like, I don't, this feels weird. It feels gross. Like, I don't feel comfortable here. But it's getting the fuck out of your own way. Okay. Because again, I want you to go back to what I said about everyone having different desires. Okay. I was at like a family friend Rosh Hashanah dinner on Monday night. I was sitting at a table with a bunch of people my age, and we're all talking about our jobs and this and that. And like, most of the people there had your regular 9-to-5 jobs. They went to school for something. A lot of them were in healthcare, nurses, and they're asking me questions about being a life coach and all this. And I was sitting there and I was like, I'm talking about social media and I'm talking about being a life coach, and these people are sitting there like they have no care in the world, or they have no fucking desire. And not like I'm putting words in their mouth, but they were saying like, oh yeah, like I don't even understand social media. Like, I have no desire to do that. And I was thinking to myself, again, going back to this idea of like, I actually find it really cool and really fascinating how different everyone is, because I just would never be in their position where, like, oh my gosh, I'm working so hard to have this one job, to create this certain type of career path. Like, I've always been very creative, very like, I'm going to, blaze my own path, and I'm going to create my own trail, and I'm going to do my own thing. And I used to feel, definitely like I was the odd one out because I couldn't ever really find my way. And now I'm like, I fully own who I am and what I like and what I don't like, because I can fully, like, how do I put this? I don't understand the desire that other people have. Like, when they're talking about their jobs and doing what they do, I will never be able to understand that because I'm built so differently, but I can fully respect it and fully admire that these people have goals and they have dreams and they have desires, and they're doing whatever it is necessary to make those goals, dreams, and desires happen, and maybe they were once insecure about like making a certain amount of money, or like, why would they pick me? Like, I've asked myself this, time and time again, like thinking like, oh, people don't care, or like, why would they choose me? But then it's like, well, why wouldn't they fucking choose me? Like, I'm super fucking cool and I'm amazing and I am a very unique person. Like, we all are so different. I just keep on coming back to that idea of we're all so unique, we're all so different, we all have such different desires and goals, and you can't get in your own way. Because if you're waiting for that perfect moment, and I know that you've heard this literally a million times, and I'm going to say it again, because I do it myself too sometimes. Like, I'm admitting that. I will wait until, oh, my skin's perfect, now I can record. And I'm like, are you fucking, like, no more, bitch. Like, no more. Like, I can't be sitting here like, okay, I'm like only gonna film when I'm ovulating. Like, are you fucking kidding me, Rebecca? Like, No, like, you can't wait until like 1 week out of the month where like your skin, God willing, is perfect. Like, get the fuck over yourself. You just can't, like, and with that comes accepting things are not always going to be perfect. You're not going to have a perfect day every day. As long as you are giving effort and as long as you are acknowledging yeah, acknowledge that some things bother you and I'm a work in progress and I don't, oh my gosh, like I wish that things were different. Like, I really think that we don't give ourselves enough, what word am I looking for? Like, this just isn't talked about enough. Like, it is part of the process to acknowledge and to accept, like, you know what, I'm working towards something and I really want this thing and I'm feeling impatient because it's not here. That is okay. That is such a good sign because you're willing to show up. You're willing to look past your own bullshit. You're willing to look past, the endless cycle that you put yourself in of like, I want to go do this, but I can't because of this. I want to go do that, but I can't do because of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, do not continue to stop yourself from putting yourself out there, from doing the things that you want to do. Because if you are putting in effort, if you are putting in some type of progress, like, you are going to get there. That's it. Like, you're going to get there. Like, I wrote down this quote the other day that I can't remember exactly how it goes, but basically the idea was a lot of us spend so much time being so scared to go for it. Whatever that thing is, a move, a job, a person, something that we want in our life, we're so caught up and we're so wrapped up in like, I'm going to fail. This isn't going to work. Like, how many tries is this going to take me for me to get there? Okay, you are getting nowhere. You're getting nowhere because you're not putting in any progress. You're not putting in any effort. Life is made up of tiny, tiny, tiny bouts of effort. It's like tiny, tiny wins. So if you say, okay, tomorrow I want to get up an hour earlier because I want to go work out. I want to do this 3 times a week. And let's say you only make it twice. That's a fucking win. That is such a cool win because what's the alternative? Oh, all those 3 days I slept through my alarm. And you know what? Now I'm back at ground zero and now I haven't made any progress and now I'm continuously being mad at myself because I just can't get out of my own way. You guys, you listening to this are the only person that can make yourself do something. Like, unless you got like a hypnotherapist living with you or something, like, I just sometimes think it's so comical because I will do this with myself. I'm like, bitch, like you are in control here. And I'm not the queen of the universe and I'm not God and I don't, pretend to be God. So I can't control every little thing, but I can control a lot in my life. So I can control if I want to wake up an hour earlier. What's that going to take, Rebecca? It's going to take you going to bed earlier the night before. Like, you can control that. You have the power to control that. You can control showing up. You can control putting content out there. You can control, okay, I'm going to prioritize my time so that I start working on a side hustle or a side business, or like, I want to go get my Pilates certification. I'm just making things up over here. Like, I can control getting past myself. Oh, I'm like not the perfect image of what a Pilates instructor looks like. Who the fuck, like, what? Who the fuck cares? Like, first of all, who made that up? Like, who made up what the perfect version of this looks like? If you feel a desire to do something, again, remember, you have a desire for a reason. Because let me tell you, a lot of people don't have your fucking desires, which is so cool. So own that shit. Show up, even if you don't like it, even if it's not something that you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so incredibly proud of. Something that I've been working on with myself, because I'm getting past a lot of my own patterns of why I don't show up, because I'm so just like attuned to results or like how much money that made me or this or that. You know what I'm now starting to track? Like, I'm tracking the effort. I'm tracking the effort of like, okay, how many times did I put out a podcast episode this month? Okay, how many days did I work on a new Substack post? Or, not getting so nitty gritty to the fact of like, okay, I'm going to be a drill sergeant. Every day I have to show up and every day I have to do this. But tracking the effort and not necessarily tracking the results is going to help you immensely in your own process of getting out of your own way, of moving past your insecurities, of moving past your comfort zone. Because all that we're doing here really is creating like a new safety net. It's like we're creating a new comfort zone. Think about where you could be in a few years or even a few months once you're so comfortable doing something. Like, I always bring up the gym because it's just such a huge part of my life and it's so easy for me to talk about. Like, I remember that there were times in my life where I would go to certain workout classes or when I wasn't like super familiar in the gym, but I had this very strong pull towards health and wellness and working out. And I remember when I first became a personal trainer, you guys, I was so scared. I felt so fucking insecure. I remember my first meeting with like my head trainer, my head coach guy, and another guy that he had hired, and he had like all this background, and I was just like, I just got my certification. I don't know shit. And I remember coming home, I was crying. I just felt like so overwhelmed because I felt so insecure. Like, I don't know if I can do this. And slowly but surely, I kept on showing up. I kept on putting in effort. I kept on just doing it, like literally just doing it, even if I felt really incompetent. And the funny thing about this and what I've noticed in myself over the years is pretty much everything that I've done, like in the moment you feel like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing this, and I don't know if I'm good enough to be here. Like, I definitely think that that's a very universal thing. And then for some odd reason, years later, when I look back on the experience, I'm like, oh my God, like, why was I so in my own head about my skills and about like if I was right for this or not? Because now I'm like, how fucking yeah, I could do this in my sleep. Like, I remember, when I first started a podcast and feeling really insecure about how many times I say like, and, I'm just notorious for bopping around from one subject to the next. And then I'm like, this is my fucking podcast. Like, I'm allowed to share however I want to share, and it doesn't need to look a certain way. I just need to show up and I need to give effort. And even if I listen back to the episode and I'm like, oh, fuck, I said like a million times or this or that, you know what I'm saying? Like, or if I don't, like how I look in a video, or if I do a workout and I didn't get a full set in, or if I didn't do this, I'm like, I'm just done for myself, just speaking on my own behalf here. I am done looking at what I did and being so connected to the end result of like, is this perfect? It's really not about that. It truly is about you showing up, you getting out of your own way, and you showing yourself, because really this is all about you. It's not about anyone else, but you are giving the clearest signal to the forces that are unseen that you are fucking here and you're showing up and you're putting in effort. Okay. And that is what it's about. I mean, I was telling my brother yesterday, we were talking, like, I definitely do feel like I have a little bit of PTSD when it comes to just trying out new business, money making like things sometimes, because I've done so many things, you guys, that just have not worked out. And I like that I'm able to admit that, and I like that I'm able to acknowledge that, because I'm like, okay, maybe there's an insecurity there, but I know who I am at my core, and I will always try, I will always show up, I will always give effort, and, there are things that I can work on so that I can, navigate situations differently now, because I obviously have way more experience, because I've done so many things and I've learned so many lessons. But even if you're doing something, let's say, like, I think about dating, for instance, with me, like, my biggest dream and my biggest goal in life right now is to attract my husband. And I love how connected I am to this dream, but I also know that I could be doing more. I'm like, okay, babe, you want your husband, we got to get you on some dates. And I'm like, okay, I don't love the online apps. I've tried them and I'm always dancing back and forth between like I acknowledge that I need to give effort and I need to put myself out there, but I also want to do it in my own way. Okay, so maybe that means a few more days a week, I'm getting my ass up and I'm getting myself ready and I'm going somewhere new and I'm just sitting there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that is what it's about. It's about you showing up. It's about you giving effort because no one else can see what the hell you're doing. No one else around you, unless you're obviously living with someone, they can't see the effort. They can't see the reps you're putting in. So that's why when people think that someone's an overnight success, like they're not an overnight success because there's so much that you didn't see behind the scenes. It's those people that you see online like, oh my God, they lost 40 pounds. Like, how did they do it? It just seems like yesterday that they were a totally different weight. Like, we have no idea the progress that the other person is doing and what it took them for them to get over themselves. That's what it's about too, right? We all have our own roadblocks that we put on ourselves. We put these roadblocks on ourselves. No one else is thinking about you as much as you're thinking about yourself. Listen, I think about other people all the time. Like, I definitely do, but it's not in a mean-spirited, weird way of like, oh my God, like, look at them doing this. It's more so just like, I'm so curious, like, what are they doing? Like, what are they working on? Like, thinking about them in that way. But you are the only person that can get yourself up, that can get yourself out of your own way. And I want you to remember to acknowledge everything that comes up in doing so, because you don't have to move about this process like, I'm fearless and nothing bothers me and, nothing's going to stop me. Nothing's going to get in my own way. I do think that some people are maybe just like a little better than that than other people. Like, maybe, there are people who, don't take themselves as seriously and they don't think as much about like, how does this sound or how does this look or blah, blah, blah. And there's other people who overthink. Like, I'm definitely an overthinker. It's just who I am to my core. And I have to continuously remind myself, like, get the fuck out of your own way. And, even if you don't like something, if you're showing up, like, that's what it's about. Because when your desire for something is so much stronger than that insecurity or that comfort zone or that safe space, like, it's going to keep on tugging on you. Like, I have learned this throughout so many different phases of my 20s. Like, the body is going to give you very clear signals that it wants you to do something, and it's not going to shut the fuck up until you do it. And I think that's one of the coolest things that we can experience as human beings. Like, it's like a dog that like really wants to go out to pee or wants to go out on a walk, and they like will not shut the fuck up and they won't stop barking. Like, they're not going to stop. Your sense of self, your soul is going to speak up and it's going to get louder and it's not going to stop. So what are you going to do? Are you going to say like, screw this, I don't care about you? But that sound and that feeling and that sensation keeps on getting louder and louder and louder. Or you're going to say, you know what? Yeah, like I really want to change this about my life, or I really want to change this about myself. And, it doesn't need to be peachy keen and it doesn't need to be perfect. And I'm allowed to, feel a certain way sometimes. I'm allowed to feel like I don't like this, or I didn't like how this turned out, or this is hard, this is challenging. Like, yes, this is all good. This is all good. Okay? If it was always easy, if we always wanted to do it, everyone would be doing it. Like, it's the people who are so regimented. I was listening to this podcast the other day of this guy explaining his morning routine. He wakes up at like 4:30. He works out for an hour. He goes to mass every day, all this stuff. But I love that he's like, most of those days, like, I don't want to, but because I'm so habitual now and I've created a system that allows me to connect to like the parts and the pieces of myself that I love, because like myself, I'm someone who operates on very high highs or very low lows. Like, I have learned that I have to do whatever it takes to get myself in a good state, because if I don't do these things, then I'm not going to be in a good state. And it's not about being perfect. It's about putting in that progress and putting in that effort to establish a new comfort zone for myself. And I tell this to my clients, and I tell this to one of my friends who's struggling. I'm like, you just have to do it and keep on doing it. But I think the biggest difference is, when this subject is talked about a lot, people just don't acknowledge, the feelings that come up, the emotions that come up. Again, it is okay for you to not be happy about doing it every day, for you to still feel, maybe insecure in the process, or feel like, I just wish that I wasn't dealing with this. But it's because you're showing up, because you're putting in the effort, because you're getting over yourself, because you are stretching yourself in the direction that you're capable of going. Because again, if you want something really, really badly, that means that you have the capability of making it happen. And it's always just astounding to me what happens when we continue to show up and get past ourselves and move past our insecurities, and what and who come into our lives to help us along the way. Like, to me, that's like miracles being played out literally in reality. I have, prayed countless times for certain things, but of course, prayer is like the best tool that we can use, but we also need to put in the work, and we need to show up and act. And we can't just sit there and dream and visualize about the life that we want to live and the things that we want to do. We have to move past ourselves. We have to show up, even if things aren't exactly how we want them, because that is the only way that we get closer to that version of ourselves that is really happy with what we're doing, that is really content with the work that you put out in the world, with the person that you are, with the way that you look, with the way that you feel. That's what it comes down to. And then at that point, you're just refining and you're just getting better. And like, I love that I'm in the position with my body. It's like, okay, I have not been as regimented in my routine. And I've learned about myself that I love a regimented routine, but like, I really never have to worry about my body not looking good. And I don't say that to be, an egotistical little prick over here. Like, oh my God, like I just like look so good and I never have to worry about that. It's because the habits that I've instilled, and the way that I eat, and the way that I take care of myself, and the way that I work out, like that's just never going to slip. It's not something that I have to worry about. So I'm going to put my energy into, moving past my comfort zone in different areas of my life, and prioritizing different areas of my life that I know are going to take extra work, that are going to take extra effort and extra progress from me. And even if I slip up sometimes, and even if I don't do, the right thing on the first try, because again, for a lot of us, that's very hard and that's very difficult, I'm going to acknowledge, I'm giving effort here and I'm progressing. And that is what it's about. And that is how you move past your insecurities. That is how you are able to change anything that you want in your life. You have to get over yourself. You have to get over how terrifying it is, how uncomfortable it is, because Lord knows that no one wants to be uncomfortable. Being uncomfortable freaking sucks. And that's why a lot of people do a lot of things to mitigate or stop themselves from being uncomfortable, whether it's feeling a certain way. But like, once you just get past that, I have put myself in so many positions where I'm so terrified, I'm so uncomfortable, and I'm learning, like, it's actually not that bad. Like, yes, of course, in the beginning, it sucks. Like, it sucks to be so uncomfortable about something, but once you get over that hump, it truly does get better. And it always surprises me that we just, I think, consciously think that it's going to take us so much longer to get over that uncomfortable, terrifying state. But it really, like, it's not as long as you think. So just acknowledge that you're gonna be uncomfortable for a little bit, and it might feel a little cringy, and it might feel a little like, I don't belong here. You may be thinking to yourself, like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, I'm not worthy of this. I don't belong here. I shouldn't be doing this. But again, if you connect back to, listen, body, I acknowledge that there's a desire there. There's something in me that's pulling me to show up here, to go there, to apply for this, to talk to that person. You gotta fucking acknowledge that, and you gotta listen to it. So get out of your own way. Acknowledge that you are allowed to feel everything that comes up along the way. And remember that it is about the effort. It is about the progress. Because once you acknowledge that, you are already 5 steps closer to where you're gonna be. Where I know you're gonna be if you follow all these steps than where you would be if you weren't to do anything. If you were to continuously sit there and stay in your safe zone, stay in your comfort zone. I know that you don't want to be there. I know that I don't want you to be there. I know that I want to continue to do this for myself and my own life and show up and get over myself, because it's just me who's thinking so much about staying, or all of the reasons why we want to stay in our comfort zone. Our bodies want to keep us safe. Our bodies want to keep us in our comfort zone. But guess what? They're going to adjust. That's the really cool thing. Once you get over the hurdle, the terrifying hurdle of putting yourself out there, being cringy, being uncomfortable, I don't like this is so weird, once you get over it, your body's going to adjust to the new normal, to the new comfort zone, to the new safe zone where you're like, this shit is fucking awesome. I love this. I love that I was able to get past myself and now put myself in such a better position. Because who knows how your life is going to change? Who knows? Literally, who knows? Like, life is crazy. So who knows how your life is going to change? Okay. That is the end of today's episode. I hope that you enjoyed it. It would mean so much to me if you rated this podcast, if you shared this podcast with someone that you think could benefit from it. I will leave all of my information down in the show notes, as I always do. If you are ever interested in having a session with me, a human design chart reading, a breakthrough session where we go over your human design chart, I incorporate some astrology, intuitive, and soul guidance to help you break through whatever barriers you are looking to break through in your life. I'm also opening up some coaching spots as well. So if you are a woman in your 20s that is looking to completely shift in your life, please reach out to me. I would love to be a sense of support and guidance for you. But above all else, just thank you so much for being here. Per usual, I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and stay tuned for more episodes of the Joyride podcast. See you in the next one. Bye.